Greetings, dear ones. The happy April Fool's Day. This is the 1st of April, 2022. It is a new month, a new moon, a new time for all of us, a newness coming out in blossoming and greening of things. From one day to the next, I look outside and my lawn and trees are getting greener and blossoming. And many of you were aware of unfortunate early blooming of my magnolia, which with 3 days of deep freeze at night caused it to burn. I will post a picture. Just poor thing, she looks so different than she normally does at this time of the year. And I'm very excited for all the initiatory energies that are here. And it looks like that's not the case. We have so much turmoil and chaos still going on in the world, but as in a session earlier this week when we were talking, it's that friction and that potential for fire, to develop and create something. So we have a lot of fire coming in. Those of you who listened to last week's Ancient Future Wisdom were aware that the element of water for the 2 weeks prior to that had really been strong and coming in many different forms. And as of several days ago, the element of fire keeps showing up. I will also post a beautiful fire that I made on a very cold night a couple nights ago. And, fire, the elements, everything is here speaking to us. There is information, there is guidance, there is help, there is support, and it does entail learning a new language, learning a different language than we speak to one another, be it English or Spanish or whatever other language, which is very linear, and it does have to process through the brain in the form of words. Whereas in the natural world and the world beyond consciousness and the subconscious and unconscious, they speak in metaphoric and symbolic forms. So it really does take a bit of practice. As my clients, when we're working one-on-one, that's part of the process, is being able to learn this language, because it's your own language, which is what makes it so amazing. It's not someone else's language. It's not my languaging. You have your own references from birth all the way through your life, be it books you read, movies, cartoons, what was going on in the world, everything that you have experienced consciously, unconsciously, primarily, meaning you, or secondarily through family and friends. All of those can be used. It's like an immense library of massive gigabytes of information that your system will use to try to bring you the knowledge, the direction, the where to go, what to do. So that's going to be part of the upcoming 3-month group that is going to begin. It's been actually moved to the 14th of April as the start date. And we are going to have another pre-course. Those of you who attended the last one, you know how powerful those few hours can be. And on the 7th, Thursday evening, the 7th at 7 p.m., we are going to be doing another pre-course, and then for the start date on the 14th. So I'm very excited about that, because when you're working in a group, the combination of each person's particular experiences, knowledge, skills, abilities, talents that they're bringing not only from this life, but from other lives as well. And that's one of the things that you will also become aware of is and deepen into your connections to other realities, other worlds, realms, kingdoms, dimensions, whatever it is for you. And that will be revealed, and I'll be doing a lot of readings of your field, and you'll be able to know whether and where you are sourcing from or using as a resource. So this is a great time. It's wonderful that we're starting this month a new program, a program that can be very, very transformational in a very short period of time. And today is a fabulous day to be able to set up what and how you want the next step in your journey, a project to launch, giving birth to something. We have all of these new energies, whether it's that of springtime growth or whether it is the new moon itself. This is a new moon in Aries, and this is a very fast-moving energy, as Pam Gregory mentions, but all of the planets are actually direct. We have none retrograde right now, which means that we're in a very forward-moving energy. And there's new beginnings, like I said, with Easter, with blossoming, coming into the Easter season, which for many different religions, this is again a time of renewal and growth and rebirth. Not only the Christian religion with Easter, but we have as well, this is Ramadan this month, starting I believe tomorrow, and Passover. We have a lot of traditions coming together at approximately the same time. And this is a wonderful opportunity, again, for potentially evolving even the deeper underlying frameworks of some of those religions that are based in a lot of perhaps obsolete, structures or pillars. So this is a beautiful time to also work with the land around you, the land that you're on. If you have a home, that would include your yard, your land, your building. Perelandra, Perelandra, which is an amazing, it's hard to describe. It is an amazing place of study for land and nature spirits, and how to create with the cooperation of the laws of nature beings, the underlying wisdom and intelligence of nature. So they have a beautiful Facebook page, and on the first of every month, they encourage everyone to do the biodiversity process. And they create tinctures or essences at Perelandra for many different things, physical as well as land. And this process is about communing and communicating with the land you're on. And even if you're in an apartment in a high-rise, there's still, probably have plants, there's little critters and insects. There is still nature there, wherever you are. So in connecting and communicating and communing, cooperating with nature and the laws of nature and this deeper intelligence and wisdom of nature, we have the potential to be able to protect the biodiversity. And that's a big issue. Probably, we hear a lot about climate change, but not what is really, probably for me, the more dangerous situation, which is the elimination by throwing out of balance the cycle of life, the circle of life. We are losing plants, we are losing animals, we are losing insects that are part of that circle and keeps that circle going. So without that biodiversity, one thing is not going to be able to lead into another, which is then going to produce another. And that's very, very, very dangerous. And it's coming to a critical point. So when I see, we're in spring, everybody's working in their yards and, digging things up, getting rid of quote unquote weeds, or what we call weeds, planting all these pretty plants and flowers that are maybe even just annuals that come and go. And while it looks really beautiful, according to perhaps a magazine picture, it is not necessarily the healthiest for the land, for the soil, for the critters, for the insects. I would really encourage you to go to the Arbor Day Foundation website, or Wildlife, the Sierra Club. There's local Sierra Club chapters everywhere in every state, and there's teaching and learning and help with what is actually in your zone, in your growing zone, what is native to the land and the area, whether it's trees or plants, what plants you can plant to support the bees and the butterflies and even hummingbirds. And, this is what keeps the ball rolling. So it's really, really important, Paralandra sites, the first of every month, to just remember to do this process. And I very much encourage you to look into the work, look into that process. And as I said, you can find it here on their Facebook page. Another wonderful, we have the new moon. It's a very, very powerful energy for being able to plant what you want for certainly this moon cycle. And this is because we have all these initiatory energies and so much newness, and the planet's going direct, and this is in Aries, which is very active and very creative. It's the first of the astrological signs out of the 12. It's the first in line. We also, as I said, have a lot of fire energy. We have a lot of flares today from the sun. The sun has been extremely active. And again, we need fire to be able to create. So the passions and the fires within you, allow them. Draw, write out what you want, whether it's a project, whether it's a new job, whether it's a new way of kind of being with yourself, with the earth. And what I always encourage everyone to do, sorry, there's an ant crawling across my page here. Let me just move him out to another level. And it's a great time to write your new moon check. Let me see if I have one here. I was going to write... I have them sitting under things and in different places around my house because they all were meant for things. I'm pulling one up from the candle that always sits on my healing table. And I'm just going to fold away the account and be able to show you that you want to just take a regular check from your checkbook that you're using all the time, and I'm going to try to put it a little bit closer, you make it out to yourself, your full name, and then in the date you put now, wrong side, now, or in the now. In the money where you'd write the numbers, you write paid in full. I abbreviated it. And then on the next line where you would normally write out the numbers, I usually write in the amount desired with and no 00 doubt instead of 100, which we usually do, or put your cents in. And then this is signed by, sorry, wait a second, let me try to do this differently. This is signed by the law of abundance, because what you place into the law will be done depending on how deeply you are aligned with yourself, the divine intelligence within everything, and your desires. And I think, what did I have that on? Business expansion. So this was many, many years ago I wrote this. It's been sitting underneath the candle holder that I use for every session and have done for 20-something years. So, and certainly that has occurred. I'm not sure when I wrote this, but I am always wanting to reach as many people as possible to assist them in being able to connect into themselves ever more deeply, know themselves, connect into themselves ever more deeply, and embody all of who they are, and in so doing brings that to the world and evolves our species. So today, as I said, great day. Write your new moon check. Write out what it is that you want, either a project or what you want to birth in the very near future. We have the firefly, again, another aspect of fire showing up today, which is about illumination and inspiration and just the ability to seek out moments of beauty. And when you're looking at your, all the growth that's going on from one minute to the next in your around you, surrounding you, land, flowers, plants, etc., you really have a feel for that. And the message today from the oils, first oil that came up was Build Your Dream. These are Young Living oils. These are the only oils that I will use and have used for the past 22 plus years, and the only ones that I implicitly trust with their purity and the integrity with which the plant is treated, the land is treated, the oil, the wisdom within the oil is treated. So as I was speaking about, that divine intelligence, that wisdom that lies in nature, the Young Living oils still are created in such a way that it maintains that wisdom, and you can use them as helpers and guides of information, not just in a factual way, but literally, energetically, spiritually. They can communicate with you. You can learn how to do this. So the first oil, as I said, that came up today, and this is about, as I said, it's called Build Your Dream. And this would be going on your core, which is the very center of your body. If you were to draw a midline and midline, that's where your essence is. So they're saying build your dream from your essence, anchoring in to, inspiration, allowing for that inspiration that I spoke of to come from this language within you, and everything surrounding you in that feedback loop. Helping you, this is an oil called, oh my goodness, this is so the opposite. This is an oil, a blend called RC, which stands for respiratory congestion. So they're inviting us to remove any congestion surrounding your ability to anchor into yourself and that dream. To follow, this is an oil blend called Stress Away, but when I work with its character, it's about freedom. It's about fearlessness. So allowing you to then, as you clear out that congestion to any of your anchoring within yourself, to fearlessly follow your innate, which is about 3 finger widths below where your ribs come together. And that is the center where you are directly aligned with your soul self, directly aligned with your wider self. So when people talk about the gut response, if you were to ask, what do I need in this moment? Which direction should I go? You feel into that place, and you will always get the purest, clearest answer for you, not having to get it from someone else or something outside of you. And then the next oil that came is an oil blend called Highest Potential. And the following one was another oil blend. These are Young Living oils, as I said, called Magnify Your Purpose. So what they're saying again is, as you build your dream from the very essence of you, it will allow you to receive inspiration, thereby clearing out any congestion to your anchoring into you, allowing you to fearlessly follow your innate to your highest potential and magnifying the purpose of what you meant to do here. So if you'd like, a private read, I do those. It's a very quick 15-20 minute private read. The oils come out. It's a much longer paragraph, much longer message when we're doing that individually, or I'm very, very happy to set out a time where we can meet and the oils will come forward for you, the best ones for you at this point in time, and you can begin to use them and cooperate with them and learn from them. So today we have these wonderful teachers coming forward, the planet Aries. We have other planetary alignments, the sun and moon and Chiron, which is a healing planet, a representative of the great healer. We have a lot of initiatory and compelling, or letting us ride this energy forward for rebirthing, for birthing a new way, a new project. And of course you're writing your new moon check, and hopefully also doing some sort of practice with your land, with nature, to connect and have that wisdom and intelligence to help you. And so I invite you to let yourself feel the movement and swirling around you, within you, of these energies, and what else will be transmitted as we move into our energetic practice. And for that, I always encourage you to find your sits bones, which are right in the center of each buttocks cheek, because once you're well planted on those sits bones, it allows you to then let your shoulder blades just kind of come together and slide down, so that automatically it opens up your chest, allows you to sit a little bit straighter without you having to force it, and lets your bones do what they're meant to do, which is hold you up, so you can then therefore let go and drop down inside of you, which is what our practice is. And then it's always beneficial if you just notice your body. Not notice with your mind your body, but actually feel it. So it might help to just kind of run your hands over your body, over your arms, underside of your arms, your neck, your chest. Just run your hands over your whole body. Thighs, your hips, your knees, go all the way down to your ankles and your feet. Don't forget the back of your thighs, your low back, sacrum, ribs, and as far around as you can reach, just touching it. You don't have to, if you feel called to rub a little bit harder, great, but just even touching your body allows you to sensate it more. And we really want to be in body, because when you're in body, you are able to feel the safety and security of your own vessel, your own vehicle, thereby allowing you to drop down and in, and your energy field and your wider self takes you to the exact right frequency, the exact right place, the exact right internal spot for your highest benefit at this point in time. And oftentimes when we're doing such a practice, you may actually feel yourself traveling. This is also a form of psychonavigation, but that means going very, very deeply in. And again, what we will be experiencing not only in the pre-course on the 7th of April, but also on a regular basis when we meet in the 3-month program. So in other words, you will be learning how to, some refer, it's not exactly the same traveling or astral traveling. This is a little bit different. You are traveling to your own inner verse, and there are a lot more options, and it is a lot more individually tailored to you. We will also be traveling as a group to different locations on the planet and beyond. So if that's something that piques your interest, please do contact me for more information about the upcoming group, 3-month group. So as we are settling in, as you're getting comfortable, as you're finding your body, as you're feeling your body, we have the wonderful wisdom and energetic and deep nature wisdom coming through these oil blends, which are made from plants and trees, different parts of the plant or tree depending on. We're inviting in the process as taught through Paralandra of connecting and communing with your land that you live on. Again, doesn't matter if you're in a high-rise. First of all, there's still land underneath you. Second of all, you probably still have some sort of plants, pets. Certainly there are insects, microbes. All of this is part of nature and her intelligence. And Paralandra also teaches a process working with soilless gardens, which are projects, businesses, new home, if that's what you wanted to create. We're bringing in the powerful energy of the new moon and the limitless, boundless abundance that is available and accessible to us. That our very consciousness is part of. We create this reality. And the more you purposefully and intentionally design how you want your world personally, and planetarily, there is a quantum state, a quantum mind, if you will, where each individual desire, each individual design is able to be woven and interconnected with all others. And still be created. In a quantum state where all possibilities, all potentials exist, you are placing yours, and it will not interfere or negate any others. And as always, we have beautiful mutual duality. All polar opposites are part of this universe, this reality that we live in. Each with their own purpose, each with their own design and desire for fulfillment. There is no bad, there is no good, there is no wrong, there is no right. It is all part of the one. And placing your desires, your plans, your projects into the mix, tips the movement one way or the other. And as always, we invite the elements, land, air, fire, and water, to put in right relationship our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. We ask the directions to center us The direction of east was Brother Eagle. The direction of the west was Brother Bear. The direction of the south was Sisters Porcupine and Otter. The direction of the north with Lady White Buffalo. The direction of below with all the inner workings of the earth, the inner realms and kingdoms. The direction of above with our cosmic companions and teachers, planets, stars, nebulae. Every formation is part of us. And this planet's evolution. And the direction within your inner verse, this internal you, and those of you who have done this work before with me or are very energy sensitive can really feel this combination of different energetics that have been mentioned, those that you bring in, those that have been in the collective consciousness this week. What's occurring in Europe. So many different issues, aspects of humanity, of our very human nature being revealed and put on visible display for us to see and use and learn how to transform and transmute those very aspects within each one of us. For make no mistake, they are there. Even the most unpleasant and the most seemingly destructive or harmful or violent. Feel your body, feel your internal sensations, physical, energetic, perhaps even emotional. So often we have been trained to go up to our mind and our third eye and go out, but that isn't necessarily the widest source for you. That lies within. For therein lies the sum total of all your experiences as a soul, particularly in this universe, and perhaps even with an expertise on this particular planet. For therein lies all the answers, your answers. With all that is going on, there are promptings to discover and explore and know thyself. For in knowing thyself, you are able to tap into that deepest source of you. To guide you, to teach you, to show you, to remind you who you are. Continue to allow yourself to drop down and inside, letting your mind rest, letting your third eye go. This is a different experience. An experience it is for when you are sensating inside. You feel and then it is not forgotten. For a thought is fleeting, a vision is fleeting, but an experience remains. You're being held in a beautiful container of intricate sacred geometrics that allow you to have the fullest security and safety. So that you are dropping in ever more deeply. You don't even have to follow my words, but simply know that the combination of all that you bring, all that is here, all those that are assisting in this process blending and weaving and combining for your ultimate experience and receiving No do, just feel. Just allow. Your energy field and your wider self know exactly how best to bring you down and in, ever more down and in. Just allow. No effort, no work, no doing whatsoever. Down and in another level. You don't have to know how to do that or even what that means. Simply allow your own energy field, your own wider self to take you, guide you, lead you. To have an even more felt experience of you and your innerverse. So just allow yourself to feel and sensate and experience as much and as process of blending and integrating and embodying all that you experienced, all that is here for you, all that you will take with you into the coming days. Again, no effort, no push. Allow yourself to experience the organic process, your pace, your way of moving from what hopefully has been a less physical experience back to a more physical, third dimensional experience. And as always, you're welcome to stay in if you like. Even if it feels like you're taking a little nap or will do so, it may be very brief. 3 minutes, 10 minutes. Rest in the knowing that you're in the exact right configuration for you, and that you will be completely integrated and set to go about your day or evening, should you be listening to this at another time. And you will probably feel that refreshing newness through you, in you. And again, I encourage you today to write your new moon check, but use this weekend to write out, design, plan, draw this project, this new birth of you. For it will be riding on some very powerful energetics. And again, if you do have young living oils, I encourage you to utilize them. As I said, our message today was, as you build the dream, your dream from your essence, allowing your deep anchoring within you to inspire you, removing any congestion to your power and passion, following fearlessly the information from your innate to your highest potential, enabling you to magnify the purpose of your deep heart. And I encourage you to call me, connect with me about information for the upcoming pre-course next Thursday, the 7th, that will lead us into the following week, the 3-month program of profound transformation. It's a very accelerated program, so if you do want to change some things in your life, it absolutely will be done. You will be different at the end of 3 months. The issue will have changed at the end of 3 months. You will have learned this language of you within you, your language, to be able to have more guidance and help and direction in your everyday life. And you will be changing the world as well. So, excuse me, the name of the program is Personal and Planetary Redesign, because you will be redesigning. And today, this weekend, is a great time to start laying out or even thinking about, even if you don't have something specific, but what you desire, what project you'd like to see come to fruition. So that's what's coming up. I encourage you to re-listen to the second half of this and drop down in. The more you're in these energetics of blended fire and newness and planetary alignment and the wisdom and intelligence lying in nature or within nature, and the combination of that and all that's going on in the collective consciousness as a means of working and transforming and transmuting pieces within you. It's a very exciting time to be alive. No time for fools, that's for sure. Even though this is April Fool's Day, you were no fool by coming here. You knew exactly what you wanted to do. You are here on purpose and purposefully. And for that, you have, as always, my deep honor, gratitude, and love for your presence on the planet. Until next time, be well.